Greetings, I am Morgan Titian. Welcome to the stream. How is everybody doing today? I'm doing pretty all right. I had a nice day off. Today was, it still is actually. Hey Dodo, how's it going? Today is Remembrance Day for everybody in Canada. I believe in the States it's celebrating the Marines and whatnot as well, but I'm not 100% sure. Yeah, I hope anybody who's joining the stream from Canada, remember to pay your respects at 11 a.m. I did, and hopefully everybody, nobody forgot about it. It's a little different. Yeah, I understand. In Canada, for those who aren't aware, in Canada, Remembrance Day, November 11th every year, usually at 11 a.m. you pay your respects with a minute of silence, and it's meant to honor anybody who has given up their life in the line of duty in protecting Canada and any other countries that Canada has assisted in basically keeping the peace. And anytime that they have to be deployed, it's just honoring anybody who has given their lives so that we could have our freedoms. Whether that is just assisting another country in, any of their local disputes or issues that they may have, or if it's participating in World War I or II. Anything and any time that a Canadian soldier has to be deployed, is they're putting their lives on the line for everyone else, so that they can live the lives that we live. So I just figured it was important to recognize that today during the stream, as well as earlier this morning. I made sure I took my moment of silence and whatnot. That being said, a little bit of a bad segue, but we are going into Dishonored 2 today. First mission of the sequel to Dishonored, which we did finish up last week. And in the sequel, there is going to be a lot of violence. So kind of a little bit funny, a little bit not funny on what we're playing today, despite it being Remembrance Day. That being said, I don't believe there's anybody who followed off stream. So nudge that a little bit too much. Have to undo that. So I think we are good to get started. And where is it here? I lost my gaming screen. There it is. If I take us over to the gaming screen, you'll see that I've already got it loaded up with ready to play a new game. In Dishonored 2, you can do a new game plus which allows you to make use of all your old powers and whatnot, and even access powers of the other character. But for stream, we are just going to go with new game. I did do a poll on Twitter, and the result is we are going to be playing as Corvo in this game as well. You do have the option of playing either Corvo or Emily, now that Emily has grown up and she is the reigning Empress of Dunwall. But we will continue to play Corvo. Perhaps we'll do a New Game Plus run as Emily afterwards. I'm not sure yet, but there's going to be at least a few streams playing as Corvo through our first run. And oh, those game sounds are a bit loud. Let me adjust that for you guys. All right, it should be better on your guys' end. Let me know. Actually, I'm just gonna back out because it's also really loud for me. All right, that's a little bit better. We're going to want subtitles for everything. And yes, I am using headphones. All right. How's that on your guys' end? Is the sound coming through okay? Not too loud? Hopefully not. I think we can continue. I should be able to adjust it mid-game as well. All right, going back into the campaign as a new game. Slot 1, which, yes, I'm going to overwrite. And we're back to where we were. So I'm just going to do it as medium. I could do it as hard or very hard, but I don't feel like doing a challenge run on stream right now. At least not with this game. And yes, we'll do tutorial just so that everyone else can see what it's like. A little bit of an opening cutscene.
I remember training with my father in the years after the rat plague. Someday, he said, our enemies will come for you.
So right now we are playing as Emily.
Dunwall never change much. This is my city.
Games seem a bit stuttery. 1 second. We will lower it to preset to just high. We'll see if that helps. My system shouldn't have any issues with it, but I am playing on Linux.
Father have in store for me today?
All right, magic.
Still laggy. You want to do it on performance. Turn that on for now. I do have a higher end system. I'm running a 3060. Don't need ambient occlusions. Hey Suki, how's it going? Just
let's see what you can do.
Trying to figure out what's with the stuttering lag. Okay, and it looks like it's working out. Oh. That's going to be a problem. I'm doing all right. How about yourself? Also still think that the volume's just a little bit too loud. I can barely hear myself. So I'll just take the entire volume down a bit. Oh, that is not good. What is causing the lag? All right, I'm going to take us back to just chatting for a second. Back to the game now as it's loading in. With no sound. Oh, there we go. Audio still seems a bit loud. And quality, where is motion blur? You want that off. And that should help most of it. New game, empty slots. We do have to start it over again. And yes, we're doing the tutorial. So yeah, in the tutorial, you do play as Emily as part of the training. But it should be... after that, we get to choose who we play.
With my father in the years after the rat plague. Someday, he said, our enemies will come for you. The sounds and smells of Dunwall never change much.
Oh, that is a lot smoother.
What training regimen his
All right,
father had
Majesty.
in store for me today.
Let's see what you can do.
If I get going fast enough, I could slide beneath that. Easy as cake.
Oh. 1 second here. I'm not sure if you guys can see that, but on Steam, it's currently popping up people who are playing games. I'm going to turn myself to invisible. There. Should not pop up anymore.
You'll have to sprint, vault the obstacle, then slide under. Hurry!
Never doubted I could make that. What's next?
Oops, I hit space as I went onto the chain.
No way except to climb.
There we go.
If only I could spend every day running and jumping. Now let's see how quick my feet are.
Come to me.
And we did it.
Let's see how quiet you are, young lady.
Alright, so stealth tutorial here. Oh, why is... There we go. It was displaying something over here. So stealth tutorial, fairly similar to the first game.
I want you to sneak up on me, if you can.
So in this game, it does confirm what I had mentioned and what I had hinted at in the previous game, which is Emily is Corvo's daughter.
Get behind the enemy, catch them by surprise, and choke them unconscious.
There we go.
That's my girl.
Yeah, Liz has lost a lot of points as well.
Hear you or see you.
Didn't see anything at all.
Most people won't notice you if you're
Why
above them.
fight when you can slip past?
Remember, a pistol will wake up everyone in the building. Your crossbow is quiet.
Oh, that's a little bit of lag.
Perfect shot.
Yeah.
Time for some more weapons and combat training. Let's beat each other up, shall we? Yes. You hit home. That's my daughter. When someone swings a sword at you, block.
Whoops.
Block with your blade. Come on. Good.
Yeah, you can just hold it and get through this part.
Good. You've got a natural instinct for fighting. If you time your block right, you'll throw an enemy off balance. You're quick. Smart move. That'd stop even the most black-hearted killer. You can choke an enemy out, even in combat.
Thanks for the lurk. I appreciate it.
While they're off balance, deliver a fatal blow. Come on. When an enemy is off balance, you can land a lethal counterattack. Feel better knowing you can take care of yourself. When trouble does finally come, you're ready to fight.
Alrighty, so that should be the tutorial done. So basically just teaching you a lot of the controls and framing it as Corvo teaching Emily how to protect herself.
Why do we celebrate the anniversary of an assassination? 15 years ago, in the middle of a plague that nearly destroyed Dunwall, a paid killer assaulted the palace where I was born and stabbed my mother in the heart. In the aftermath, the men who sent the assassin tried to use me as a pawn in a game of power. They would have
Hey Zathi, welcome to the stream.
Corvo Atano hunted them down and cut their conspiracy to pieces.
I'm playing Dishonored 2 today. Just starting the opening cinematics.
Am I the ruler my mother wanted me to be? Now, we face a new crisis. A monster the papers are calling the Crown Killer has been picking off
I'm
my
doing
clothes
well.
and dressing it up like
Doing
a
very well. Had the day off today because of Remembrance Day in Canada. How about yourself?
I don't know whether to get on a ship and sail to the opposite side of the world, or to have everyone around me executed.
Ooh, dinner's delicious. I just had a bit of a snack before stream. Plan to eat actual dinner afterwards.
Watch your
I'm
step,
not looking forward
Majesty.
to all the ceremony today.
Audio desync, maybe?
Your signet ring. There. You're ready.
Thank you, Alexei. Open the doors.
All hail Her Imperial Majesty, Emily Caldwin.
Loyal subjects, we're going through a difficult time, but today we honor my mother, the late Jessamine Caldwin. May her memory survive through the ages. You
Emily,
look tired, Father.
every year I think the anniversary of Jessamine's death will be easier, but it never is.
I wish Mother was still the Empress. I don't think I'm very good at this.
You're still learning. Don't worry about the rabble-rousers, and we'll catch the Crown Killer, eventually.
People are saying it's you. That these assassinations are a misguided effort to protect me.
No, someone's trying to make us look guilty by targeting your enemies.
I wish I could just run away from all this.
Sometimes you do. You think I don't know about your nights out on the rooftops? courage. The ceremony will be over soon.
Royal Protector and Father. I should have passed a law against that combination of titles years ago.
Your Majesty, before we begin the day's observances, we have an unexpected visitor, the Duke of Serkonos.
Ramsey says the Duke is bringing special gifts.
That's intriguing.
His Grace Luca Abel, Duke of Serkonos!
Mechanical soldiers? Amazing.
What is this, Ramsey? I didn't authorize those things.
Your Imperial Majesty and Royal Protector Corvo Atano, a native of our homeland. Serkonos offers condolences on this sorrowful day, and gifts to remind you of our nation, the rising star on the southern horizon.
We thank you, Your Grace.
Save your thanks, for now I give you the greatest gift of all, family. I present the lost sister of Jessamine Caldwin, your rightful empress, Delilah Caldwin.
Impossible.
My mother had a sister?
My dearest niece, hello.
It's not true.
My father was Emperor Yuhorn Jacob Caldwin, and Jessamine was my younger sister. At the time of her death, I wasn't ready to make myself known to you, and I was forced to leave Dunwall. But now I'm home.
If you really are my mother's sister, you're welcome to stay as long as you like.
Little sparrow, blackened by bad memories, I'm here to relieve you of your crown. My father's promise, whispered in secret so many years ago, is now fulfilled.
Watch your tongue. Emily Caldwin is the daughter of Empress Jessamine Caldwin.
Royal Protector, how naive to think you could get away with these murders. Living in my palace has protected you, but that's over. Hear me, all of you. Your rightful empress has returned.
All hail the Empress Delilah, first of her name. Arrest Emily Caldwin and her father for the Crown Killer murder.
What? Your sword can't still my heart.
Okay. Sorry, I was a little bit silent during the intro there, just because I want to let everyone see it. But yes, I will use the new overlay. I forgot to change it before stream, but thanks for the reminder. I will write that down in my book. Here, just gotta get a new page. Right. Apply new overlay. And send Zathy the Game Boy. Sorry, unless I write it down, I forget about it. So it's important that's one of the reasons why I have the book. All right. So in the poll that we did, it was decided that we are playing as Corvo this time around. So you can play as either of these two. They both play slightly differently. And we are playing as good old Corvo Atano. And we might do a run afterwards playing as Emily. What we will have to see. That'll be a couple weeks out yet.
Cast you in cold marble. Corvo Atano, how handsome you are for a man of your age. And how long had you hidden the mark of the outsider?
I expect it's a wonderful story.
I'll lock him in the Empress's chambers, and then I'll bring him to Coldridge Prison until his trial.
This will be the second time Corvo is being accused of something he did not do.
Sent me to the City Watch, one step above begging. Think I had to take your orders? Corvo Atano, son of a Zirconin tradesman.
Captain Ramsey, I heard shouting. Lord Corvo, what happened?
It'll be all Captain Mayhew.
Oh!
So that's the Royal Protector's fancy weapon. What kind of sword folds in half?
Kind of gonna kill you with.
There's a legend in the City Watch. The Empress's last resort, the safe room inside your daughter's chambers, is holding enough gold to buy an island. And they say this is one of the only 2 keys.
They say a lot of things.
What happened? Alexei, the throne room, Emily.
That's some pretty good voice acting
Nothing I
there.
can do alone. I need to get out of here.
All right. Top up on HP. It's still stuttering a little bit. Let's try a few other tweaks here. I hate lens flare. My eyes are not cameras. Turning off a lot of these should help performance a whole lot. Which is strange. Like, I do have a beefy system. It's just because I'm running on Linux, it has to emulate a lot of the stuff. Letter from Advisor Helmswater. Empress, we face yet another murder, and I cannot remain silent on this matter. Strange, is it not, that all of the victims have openly opposed you? If not strange, then oh so very convenient. Is there anything you wish to tell me, Majesty? How can I be an advisor if you don't include me in these most sensitive of endeavors? I feel I must be the only person in Dunwall who doesn't know the truth about the Crown Killer. Don't leave me out in the cold. I remain your trusted servant and advisor, Lenora Helmswater. Ship launch protocol. Empress, after the Royal Protector's shakedown cruise, we'll launch the ISS Jessamine Caldwin just before the anniversary of your mother's passing. Pending your approval, of course. On the platform, we'll have a bottle of King Street brandy tied to a long tether that you will release to swing out against the hull. What you say during the ceremony is, of course, up to you, but here are some ideas intended to serve as food for thought. May a brisk wind hurry to you to shores near, far, and fair. May you shelter your crew from the perils of the terrible ocean. May you always sail for Bristol, true of heart and homeward bound. Yours faithfully, Advisor Wainwright. All right. Oh boy.
Dunwall always has a way of turning sour.
Wonder if there's any other things I can lower. Phone's dying. Yeah, no worries. Just stopping by is enough. Thank you, Zathy. Yeah, I'll turn that back off. That should be good. Sorry, a lot of tweaks on the fly as we play this for the first time. Oh.
Delilah took away.
Whatever I just did does not look very good. Oh, it took the target down, that's why.
The mark of the outsider. No more sorcery.
Lord Protector, I can't believe Ramsey's a traitor. Is Lady Emily all
There's a
right?
coup underway. Emily is... she's imprisoned for lack of a better word.
You've got to get out of the tower. Maybe through Emily's safe room. There was a captain earlier today, down at the docks, looking for you. Get away and help Emily.
I'm sorry, Captain Mayhew. Goodbye.
Audience request. Captain Mayhew, you don't know me, but you've got to tell the Royal Protector that I have urgent need of his time. I'm carrying a message that has to be delivered face to face. Tell him I'm working with Anton Sokolov, an old friend. All the boats are being sent away from the docks, but I'll delay as long as I can. Tell Lord Corvo to find me there. My ship is called the Dreadful Whale. Megan Foster. Just doing the standard sneak around and looting thing.
These bastards are working with Ramsey and the Duke of Serkonos.
Oh, no, he saw me. Oh, why did it hit escape?
Disloyal dogs.
Alright. Yeah, these guys I don't mind taking out because they killed a bunch of people and they participated in a coup. Oops. Crown Killer Strix again. I'm not reading out the newspapers. Why would they attack and kill the maids of all people?
Blocked off, we should have the time we need. Just stay here and stall anyone who comes by. I'll be back when I've searched the royal chambers, assuming I don't accidentally lock myself in this damn safe room.
We'll cover for you if anyone from the Duke's party returns. This is exciting. Everything's changing.
Yes, the natural order is reasserting itself. The Ramseys once hosted the king and queen of Morley. Did you know that? I spent my childhood playing with the Buntings and the Boyles, cream of society.
And very soon you'll be back at the top, Captain. Ramsey's family fell from the aristocracy, and apparently the man holds a grudge. How it's anyone else's fault, that's beyond me. But one way or another, Ramsey is too dangerous to be left in play. Goodbye, Ramsey. They'll pay.
He's wounded. Finish him. You aren't going anywhere. Take it.
Oh, this leg is really screwing with my timing here. Oh, there we go.
Nope.
Restart from checkpoint. That was my bad. Alright, with this leg, I don't think I can do any face-to-face confrontations.
We'll cover for you if anyone from the Duke's party returns. This is exciting. Everything's changing.
Yes, the natural order is reasserting itself. The Ramseys once hosted the king and queen of Morley. Did you know that? I spent my childhood playing with the Buntings and the Boyles, cream of society.
And very soon you'll be back at the top, Captain. Ramsey's family fell from the aristocracy, and apparently the man holds a grudge. How it's anyone else's fault, that's beyond me. But one way or another, Ramsey is too dangerous to be left in play.
Who's this? Whatever.
No.
That one.
And that's my ring back.
Nothing will stop me from bringing you home, Emily.
Gotta loot all the coins. I don't think that there's any other coins around here. Sure, I've made a mess of the place, so. So much random stuff in here. Makes sense, though.
As we both know, whoever's killing off my detractors is doing so for calculated effect, undermining me. The Crown Killer is being guided by someone. But who? Tomorrow's the anniversary of Mother's death. A sad day for us both. But I want you to remember all that's happened over the last 15 years. You've protected me, and taught me how to protect myself. You've helped me see what was right for the people of the Empire. You drained the flooded district, fought back the gangs, and yesterday we launched a beautiful ship in Mother's name, trying to seal the wall.
Right.
Anton Sokolov made this lock.
Yeah, lock it behind me.
Emily would fall asleep in here after the plague.
Not reading all the books in here because that is a lot of books.
Out into the world once more. How many people had forgotten this mask?
Surprised it still fits. Letter from Wyman. Emily, I didn't want to wake you this morning, but you'll forgive me since we must have said goodbye 100 times yesterday night. And the only chance I get to see you, with your hair all whichever way, is while you're asleep. As soon as the sun rises, you'll put on your Empress face. It makes me happy that I know your real face, the one that laughs at our silly rhymes. I don't want to go back to Morley, but I'm needed there. I'll be 4 months before we see each other again. I'll miss you. And yes, I'll bring you some white leaf tobacco for your hookah. Lord Corvo, if you're reading this letter as per your royal protective functions, know that I am joking and perfectly aware that white leaf tobacco is forbidden in Bristol. Take care, my daring Emily, and don't go falling from a rooftop. I love you, Wyman. I think Wyman was her personal butler or something like that.
Samuel Beechworth made this. Wonder what advice he would have about today.
Okay, so here's a world map that you don't get to see often. So we're in the country of Bristol, and Dunwall, right here, is the capital. Corvo is from Serkonos, which is the country down here. That's where that duke came from as well. And then there's Morley and Tivia as well. Corvo Attano, the Royal Protector in Our Times, Part 1. His parents were older at the time of his birth, and his father died in a lumber accident outside the city when Corvo was still young. Around that time, his only sibling, a firstborn sister, moved away to Morley, and the family subsequently lost all contact with her. Only 16, Corvo dazzled the people of Karnaca when he entered and won the annual Blade Verbena. The spectators, from all over Serkonos, were thrilled to see that someone so young and striking, from a working-class family, advanced through duel after duel, eventually taking the prize. This unexpected outcome secured Corvo a junior officer ranking in the Grand Serkonan Guard. As a soldier, he was involved in a number of conflicts against organized criminal groups, rogue city-states within Serkonos, and pirate bands along the chain of islands radiating east from Serkonos. Sent from his homeland at the age of 18 by the Duke of Serkonos, then Theodanis Abel, father of Luca Abel, Corvo was assigned to serve the Emperor in Dunwall as a diplomatic gift. His Serkonan heritage made him a bit of an outsider in Dunwall, but the capital city must have seemed exotic and full of old-world mystery. A few months later, he moved to Dunwall. It is recorded that Corvo received word that his mother had passed away several weeks after his departure from Karnaca. And for reference, Karnaca is down here. So he went from Karnaca, took a boat around up to Dunwall. This is a map of all the stuff in Dunwall itself. So there's Caldwell's Bridge. We went across there in one of our missions. Dunwall Tower was another one. We started in Coldridge Prison. Distillery District is our first missions with the Golden Cat right there. And Office of the High Overseer. We did missions over there. We did missions in Slaughterhouse Row in the DLC. And in Draper's Ward. And the old Hound Pits pub is over here. So we left from there for all of our missions.
The reserves won't help against Delilah, even if I had a way to carry it all out of here.
Okay, I think that's about everything I got to do here. I'm not going to read all of these books, because that is honestly a little bit ridiculous.
Until I understand this, I have to go into hiding. I should make my way to the docks.
I'll grab that. That's worth some money. So, old storeroom area. That is technically connected to the palace. Oh, that's just a turn over. Bolted from the inside, of course. Oh, God.
Gotta get out of Dunwall.
A little bit of lag there.
Delilah turned Emily to stone. I will find a way to make her flesh again.
Damn it, I need to pee.
It's trying to get me to do a drop assassination, but I'm not sure if this guy was part of the coup or not. So I'm going to take him out silently. And you're out.
You're not fit for that watch uniform.
Apparently he was one of the ones in the coop.
I need to find a ship. The city is crawling with the Duke's men.
Listen up, I have bad news. Ramsey's dead. Corporal Moore checked the royal quarters, and Corvo Atano has apparently fled the tower. We've got to find him. That's it. You've got your orders. Spread out and find the fugitive. We're in this with...
Oh, shoot.
What's going on here?
They didn't see me, but I accidentally hit right click as I dropped down.
Keep your eyes peeled. Nothing here. Be on your guard, right? Found anything yet? Look everywhere. Nothing. Shit.
That was a little bit of a whoopsie.
You can't stay hidden wherever you are.
Be a perfect drop, but there is a dude over there.
Come on. I don't have time for games.
Alright, and they're leaving. Stay ready. I want you in place just after the Duke and our new Empress make their appearance. Things will happen fast. Do your part, and there's a share of the spoils for you and the others. Turn on me now, and I'll ask the Duke to send his assassin after you, dear old parents. Trust me, the so-called Crown Killer is the last dinner guest you want in your home. From Ramsey. Well, Ramsey's dead now, so...
Empress Emily Caldwin and her royal protector Corvo Atano are now wanted criminals. Let me remind you, there's a reward for your help in capturing enemies of the state.
Huh. Really quick to label us as criminals, huh?
I give him one. I still got me one. But then if I eat it... Hello? If he eats it, then what?
Betrayer.
Something's gotta give.
Yeah, I don't think there's a way in from the top. I have to go through the door. All City Watch personnel assigned to post in the immediate vicinity around Dunwall Tower. On the anniversary tomorrow, we'll be receiving guests from across the Empire. Most are detailed in your itineraries, but there's an unlistened contingent from Karnaca. It's last minute, but important. None other than the Duke of Serkonos will be traveling with an entourage that includes VIP guests and some other rather exotic equipment, aimed at impressing our Empress. Let them pass, and don't bother harassing them with the usual inspection nonsense, on my orders. And if you spoil the surprise, I'll have your head. Disseminate this note to all squads. Yeah, I'll screw you too, Ramsey. Ooh, grenade. Should be fun. You can hide bodies in those metal crates. More pistol that I don't have ammo for, or don't have space for, rather. Right, going along, cutting and looting. And look at this. It's killing random people just for the coup. Right, I actually think I'm gonna up the brightness a bit. I'm not sure how dark it is on the screen there. The darkest symbol has to be barely visible. Usually you go a couple ticks above that when you're streaming. Apply settings. That way me and also stream can actually see what's going on. Sorry I didn't do that sooner. Just didn't really bother me till now. You deserve that. Makes a funny noise. I don't think I can jump up there from here, but I might be able to. Whoop. Oh, can't get to it from here. A lot of places you can't go without the outsider's mark. Oh, right. Where was the code on that one? Oh, I almost forgot those coins. Coins mine. Oh, it's right here. 451. Grab the silver ingots. Don't have room for the pistol ammo. Yeah, that's what it's supposed to look out here, not super dark. I don't think I can get up there, at least not without powers.
What am I? I got sucking on a leg, that's what. Nothing worse than...
Cut your thought off right there. A lot of places get ammo.
Kiela, sorry you missed us. I'll be taking the children away from Dunwall earlier than expected. A few weeks before the upcoming anniversary of Empress Jessamine's death. Things are about to get bad, and I'm not just talking about the Crown Killer. Besides, there's profit to be made bringing new silver miners down south. So arrangements must be made. For now.
Attention Dunwall citizens.
Attention Dunwall citizens.
Today on this
As of
sad
today,
anniversary,
Delilah
we
Caldwin
mourn the
is our new
tragically
empress.
slaying of our beloved
All hail
Empress
Delilah, first of her name. Further, Corvo Atano is now wanted for treason. Any of you found harboring the royal protector will be fined and arrested. People of Dunwall, stay in your homes. You're advised to stay indoors during this time of unrest.
Up there. Not right now, anyways. You do eventually come back here. Let's go over here. Where'd that guy go? Oh, he is right there.
Someone is asking for trouble over there. That's Corvo Atano.
Jesus. Like I said, leg is not helping out my oh, he took one shot. Not helping out my parrying ability. Nothing ever in those garbage cans. Oh. Oh, there was someone over there who saw me.
Let's have a look. Thought I saw some... Hey, who is... Huh? Oh! Oh, damn it! He's wounded! Let's finish...
Traitorous dog.
One of them had loot. So yeah, you can go through this entire area without without being spotted. But these guys, they don't deserve to live after killing all these people. I don't want to go over there just yet.
What is wrong with this? So it's a coup. The cult? Shh. We shouldn't be talking about this.
Until later, then.
Someone there?
And dead. wait for the leg to stabilize a bit. Sometimes when there's lag spikes like that, it's because it's loading up new areas. At least that's what it says online. So you just have to be a little bit patient, that's all. There's a few different things going on right now.
Might be wounded. Maybe an easy way for me to earn a medal. Oh man, I hope the crown killer doesn't come back. Nasty.
Letter to Laura. Laura, don't tell me my business. My family's been at this game for a long time, and I'm not acting alone. Currently, I have several friends working on similar pamphlets aimed at further turning public opinion against Emily Caldwin and her cursed royal protector. Lady Bramley is calling hers bastard daughter. That ought to light them up at court. Nathan Bettenbridge is nearly finished with the prosecution for Corvo Otano. I'm giving consideration to releasing my own as, should Parliament rule, a modest proposal. Yes, I know she's the Empress, but eventually she'll bow under their weight, and that will bring down upon her. First, the gentry here in Dunwall, then the Parliament, finally, the other isles. By early next month, look for those works plastered on the walls here at the capital city. But if you're abroad, you'll see them in Debokva? Oh, that's a weird name. Alba, Karnaka, Kolkani, and Yarrow as well. I have friends all over, Laura. Don't let it slip your mind for a second.
Killing a Kabod boil like that.
Alright, go back to sneaky mode.
Damn it. I need to pee.
I'm so sneaky. Look at me sneak. Wonder if I can get him without being spotted. There we go.
Poor guy.
Wow, that's gruesome. House of Clocks. There we go. Coins is what I want. Just smashing everything. I'm basically like a common thug at this point. Open that up, and then I should be able to open up all these. Oh, and there's nothing in them. Oh, come on. Be like exact with picking up, otherwise you accidentally hit the drawer and it closes again. And there was, where was it? There's something up here I could smash. But I had to pass by it first. Where was it? Oh, it was over here. Lucky Sapphire is what I was looking for. Ding! Satisfying. Right. Nothing else here. Go ahead and close that. There's some Tivian ore. Light pouch. Some coins. More coins and another pistol. Excellent. Actually gonna get out this way. Easiest way to get behind this guy. Well, I missed that. Got him anyways. So yeah, after this first mission, I'll be a lot less ruthless. But every single one of these guards is complicit in the is complicit in the coup that happened, which is why I'm taking them all out. And yes, I know it's going to give me high chaos, but I don't care. Mine. Alright, not a whole lot else in there. Be a little bit quieter going up here. There might be another guard up here. I can't remember.
Special edition. Empress Delilah Caldwin, rightful heir to the throne, has taken power in Dunwall. The usurper, Emily Atano, and the murderous royal protector have been arrested.
Get out of here.
You have until tomorrow to print it.
I never should have listened to your rubbish.
Don't make a pig's ear.
What's going on here?
Oh, he's supposed to talk to you. Guess you had to let the guy go. Whatever. Usually that guy talks to you. Can't remember if he actually gives you anything or not. Kent, don't take it personally, but I'm not publishing your story about the mechanical soldiers down in Karnaka. I'm not questioning your sources or your writing, but some moonstruck natural philosopher making marionettes in his basement isn't really news. I've done some research on this Kirin Jindosh you mentioned. He was driven out of the Academy of Natural Philosophy years ago, so he's hardly a credible threat. Until one of his inventions actually kills someone, he's not worthy of our ink. You should focus on the Crown Killer case instead. If the Imperial family is really ordering those murders, I want us to be the ones to expose it. Wow. I'll take a star chart. Why not?
Please, I won't tell anyone I saw you.
I'm not here for you. I was here for this guy. Yeah, no, he's dead. Yes, there is sometimes stuff in here. So many healthy licks just laying around.
Careful with that sword. Grand Guard won't like it.
Don't care what the Grand Guard won't like.
Road is blocked by order of the City Watch.
Locked? What am I supposed to do now?
Not my concern, citizen. I'd advise you to return to your home.
If I can't get through, that's it for my shop. The entire month will be ruined.
Trust me, you don't want to be out on the streets right now. So move along.
I can't quite make it. Not without powers.
First the shortage of whale oil, then the murders. Now what's ever going on tonight?
Covering your face won't make the Grand Guard happy.
I don't feel safe.
Tomorrow.
What is wrong with this city?
There's a lot wrong with this city.
Elaine heard fighting between some of the guards earlier. This is bad.
I'm full.
I'm thinking we need another. I pay my taxes and all the fees. I'd pay bribes too if it meant the roads weren't blocked off. You have to understand. I'm going to call for help if you don't go.
It's been hard getting any business done here in Dunwall. But that's all about to change.
Shit. The Hatter Gang.
Killer lunatic and all. Whatever the Royals are fighting about. Can't make it easier for them. That's what I'm saying. We need a network of shops selling contraband, just like they've got down in Serconis. People are getting rich in Colero and Karnaca, even after paying the Grand Guard to look the other way. So we set up some black market shops, pass along whatever we score, and we run security for the shopkeepers. Right, and we take a cut on the sales. I'm telling you, the wind is blowing in our favor for once.
Not quite. Yeah, and the Hatter Gang is a group of guys that you don't really want around your city. So I take them out. Another grenade. That should be useful. Nothing down there. Oh, nobody heard that? Alright, there's a little bit of more loot I can find over that way. I'm pretty sure that building is boarded up, though. So I don't think it's actually worth it to go over there and loot, even though there's a lot of corrupt guards that I want to take out. I can't believe these guys aren't hearing me or seeing me. That guard has to get out of here. Could solve the problem pretty quickly. Problem solved. Are you serious? You're not coming just a little bit closer? Come on. Either turn around or come closer. There we go. I almost thought I was going to take some damage. Alright. And swim past all the hagfish. Oh, let me swim up. Let me swim up. There we go.
To warn the Royal Protector. Maybe too late. Now what?
Lord Atano, you want to hear what I've got to say. I guarantee it. Lord Protector, forgive me for saying it, but you look like death warmed over.
It's been an unusual day. There's a coup underway, and I'm being blamed for the Crown Killer murders.
My name's Megan Foster. I work with an old ally of yours, Anton Sokolov. We learned something scary down in the south, and I came to warn you.
I know, Anton. The Duke's here with a woman named Delilah who seized the throne. They have Emily, and I barely got out. For now, I have to get away, recover my footing.
Bad things always seem to happen in Dunwall. Feels like the end of the world.
I need to get to Karnaka, where the Crown Killer murders started. Delilah must have been down there for a while, and I've got to figure out what's going on.
The dreadful whale will get you there. Should we go?
Yes, we shall.
Let's go.
All right. Definitely lethal. And only 11 detections. You can see the how stealthy or lethal you were here. I almost got all the coins, got both the paintings. And we're good. So yeah, the other ones will be a lot less lethal. All right, but before we go on to the next one, let's Screen's probably going to freeze for a sec. Here it is. I'm going to take us to the BRB screen. I'm going to take a quick bio break, and then we... I'll have to cycle back out for a sec, and then go back in. There we go.
Something's not right, but it seems familiar somehow.
Door is blocked. Oh no, what is this?
Remember this endless cold. Where are you? You might as well show yourself.
Corvo, old friend. Do I even have to say it? You've lost another Empress. I gave you my mark for a reason. I wanted to know what happens when you take an honorable man's life away. When you push his face down in the mud. What will he do, given the chance? And what a sight it was. You gave yourself over to blood and terror. Gave it everything you had. Then you spent 15 years making sure it wouldn't happen again. But now it has. And this time, you know where it leads. Will you do it all again? Where is that good man now?
All right, so we are going to accept his mark. We're not doing this no powers mode because no. So this was, in the first game, an actual achievement to go through the entire game without using any active powers. But the loophole there was you could still use passive powers, like, you know, the extra agility and whatnot. So in Dishonored 2, they introduced a way that you can just reject his mark outright and go without. And that's the no powers mode. And there's an achievement for that. But I've already got that one. I don't want to play through that again because the powers are part of what makes this game fun for me.
I felt this so long ago. The void. It was still there all along. Never thought I'd be here again. Feels as good as I remember. Now I'm going to save my daughter and win back her throne. There you are, my love.
Know you. Do you remember? It's been so long, and you've been through so much. Even as an echo of myself, it's good to know you're there.
Jessamine, if all I can hear are the last echoes of your voice, that's enough.
Only the last of my essence, with you for a while. If only I could reach across this great expanse and take you into my arms. But I have this to offer. My gift and my curse. Summon me to your hand, and I will guide you when I can.
Yeah, getting up on my computer again. Okay, sorry about that. So one thing that was never explicitly mentioned in the first game, and it's just revealed here, this heart is Jessamine's heart. So the entire first game, when you're walking around with that heart, you're actually walking around with the Empress's heart in your hand. But excuse me a moment, I do have to do one thing here. 1 second here. There we go. Changing some settings. You're gonna die.
Really? Jessamine's sister? Bearing the outsider's mark.
Gives you 2 to start with.
Delilah slit a man's throat for a pair of shoes and painted some of the most brilliant portraits of the age, all in the same year. Survival and ambition, arts and magic, with a cunning that makes sycophants of those around her. All of it leading to what you saw at Dunwall Tower. Delilah's playing the long game, and now she's an empress. But I'll let you in on a secret. She's got her eyes set on a much greater prize.
Just when you think you've got it all figured out, just as you're starting to relax, you look up and there are wolves at the gate. Wolves with red muzzles, hungry for your insides. Everything has turned to shit. Last time I saw Karnaca, I was just 18, boarding a ship bound for Dunwall. It was dawn and I'd been up all night dancing, 3 sheets to the wind. I was puffed up with the old Duke's favor, and I thought I was the greatest swordsman the Isles had ever known. In the 36 years since, I've buried countless enemies. Most deserved what they got, but I wonder if that even matters. I've stopped dozens of assassins, but the one who got through eats at my dreams. Who'd have thought I'd come home to Karnaca, the most wanted man in the Empire, following the trail of a monstrous killer? Who'd have thought I'd be on the run again, ready to wade through another river of blood?
All right. You can write in your travel log, and you just basically record. Basically, it's essentially a journal. Get letter from Corvo. Mr. and Mrs. Mayhew, I am deeply sorry to inform you that your daughter, Captain Alexi Mayhew, was killed in action during the recent coup in Dunwall. Alexi was brave, loyal, and selfless until the end, as she always had been, since the day she fought alongside the Empress and saved her from the carriage attack while they were just kids. Emily never had a better friend. It has been an honor to know and work with your daughter. Be assured that as soon as Emily is restored to the throne, and I swear she will be, I'll make sure Alexi's death is properly memorialized. With all my sympathy, Corvo Tano, Royal Protector. Yeah, let's go ahead and pick these up. Stop that noise in my ear. Alright. All my gear. Limited resources. It's not what you're used to, living in a palace, but this is all the coin I could scrape up. Anton and I operate on a tight budget, and guess what? Now you do too. If it's not beneath you, pick up whatever valuables you find along your way. We'll need ammo and resources to take down the people behind the coup. Hidden all over the city, there are underground black market shops. Look for a symbol depicting 2 hands, which means there's a shop nearby. Follow the signs, they'll guide you. Buying from the black market is against the law, but it could make the difference against the Duke's military. Sokolov was working on the crossbow as a gift for you. If you need it modified, those shops can help with that as well. It's a nice looking crossbow. All right. I can equip bone charms. Alright. We'll equip those for now. Powers. Bone charm crafting. Craft your own unique bone charms with some chance of corruption. So all these are going to be useful here. I always like getting agility first. Jump height and distance. I love it so much. So yeah, there's a bunch of powers. All the old standbys, but there's just a bunch of new powers as well. There's old reflexes. There's reflexes. Shadow kills the old one. Bone charm crafting. Strength is a new one. And then, of course, I'm just going to go with the old standby of agility. Being able to get around like that is so useful. Maintenance list. Repair the things that got busted up in Anton's room when he was taken. It's been weeks now. No, scratch that. Not until I bring him back home. To show a faith that he will be coming back. Unblock the storage door. Looks like something fell on the other side. I really need to sell the stuff locked up in there to make some coin. Pay the port tax and the look the other way fees to those Grand Guard bastards before they wonder who my passenger is this time. I'll do it when I get the money. Right. Not going that way just yet. Hit shift, not control. Up in through here. There's a Addermeyer solution. It's the old Piero's remedy. Ooh, some incendiaries. Not gonna read that book. There we go. Unlocked for them. Trying to fix the secondary engine. Anton, your idea of improving the head gasket sealing with a guano coating is the worst you ever had. It'll make you sleep in the engine room if you don't fix your mess by tomorrow. Megan, if all inventors were as delicate and short-tempered as you are, you and I would still be paddling around in carved-out logs. Megan, I made some mulberry cake. It's my own recipe, improved by Tivian spices. I left it in the galley. Anton, where are you, old fool? Hope nobody hurt you. I'll find you. I swear. I miss you. Notes back and forth. Dirty rats. Get out of here. Crossbow bolts. Nothing down there. Sorry about that. Yeah, I can't remember where the gear is. Maybe that's another portion. You come back to this ship many times and there's stuff to do each time.
If we're lucky, the howlers will clear up. When you're ready to talk, I'll tell you what I know.
All right, you've explained part of it. What were you and Sokolov doing here?
The old man loved Karnaka, but he'd caught wind of a conspiracy tied to the Crown Killer. He wanted to warn you.
There were reports about tensions rising. Corruption, street violence. It's the sort of thing that happens, and usually the local authorities resolve it.
The new Duke has let things slide, but Sokolov concluded he might be the head of the conspiracy. He came in looking shocked, and if you've heard his after-dinner stories, you know that's unusual. We were going to set out for Dunwall, but something happened.
The Crown Killer.
Yes, The hatch ripped open and Sokolov screamed. All I caught was a glimpse of someone carrying him across the deck. I followed as long as I could, toward Addermeyer Institute. It's run by the alchemist Hypatia. Maybe the Duke is using a patient of hers, the Crown Killer.
Addermeyer was a solarium years ago. I'll get inside and eliminate the Crown Killer. Maybe the alchemist will cooperate, maybe she won't. Either way, I'll try to figure out what happened to Sokolov, too.
I would say good luck, but I don't think you want my luck. When you get done at the Institute, disable the watchtower. Once it's down, I'll bring the boat around.
Alrighty.
We'll take the skiff to the shore when you're ready.
Mortimer Ramsey, the entitled son of entitled parents. The Duke's coup relied on a weasel like you. Sokolov's style. It's Delilah.
Sokolov's notes. Bloodfly study. So bloodflies are the replacement to rats in this one. It's not a rat plague, it's bloodfly infestation. I've wondered whether I have another book in me. The bloodfly epidemic, coupled with the basic information on life cycle behavior, might make an excellent project for this old natural philosopher. Bloodflies are exotic insects, unlike anything else found in Serkonos. I suspect they originated on the Pandician continent. In groups of 3 or fewer, they are harmless. Individuals won't attack, leading me to speculate that each emits a scent that has a collective effect on larger numbers of bloodflies. Bloodflies are attracted to rapid movement and sound. Their nests can be broken apart, scattering the swarm, and in particular, the nests are quite susceptible to fire. The insects require fresh corpses to lay their eggs, which hatch in a breathtaking fashion after a very short time. More corpses in a Serkonan city, stay during a crisis or a plague, mean more bloodflies. Interestingly, in the last part of a bloodfly's life cycle, they calm a great deal. Leaving the swarm, they molt, causing the wings to drop off. Afterward, each bloodfly lives in a solitary existence. Very odd. Bloodflies are largely restricted to the south, preferring warmer climates, like certain aging natural philosophers. Alright, I'm going to take these guys out because I want that. It's only 5 coins, but it's 5 more than 0.
I miss listening to old Anton Sokolov and his travel stories. He even explored Pandisia.
Across the Empire, committed by this so-called Crown Killer. When I left Crystal years ago, I swore I'd never again take part in any further political matters. I've done my share of bad things, and some good, before and after the Rat Plague. But here in Karnaca, I've uncovered a terrible conspiracy against you. Here, at the bottom of the Empire, the cobblestones smell of death and corruption. I'm staying with an associate, Megan Foster, aboard her vessel, the Dreadful Whale. We'll leave for Dunwall in the morning, as soon as the tides are willing. I keep thinking of the way sweet Jessamine was stolen from you and your father, and I fear it might be your turn to face such turmoil. I know Corvo would protect you with his life, but please do not trust anyone.
There you are, old man. I was asked to pay you a visit.
Wait, what's wrong with you? Megan!
Off we go, Sokolov, to somewhere more private.
And that's when he was abducted. Can't remember if there's anything interesting back here or not. This game really does encourage a lot of exploration. So many empty bottles. Holy crap. Not reading all the books. Nice. Not interested in all of them. We'll eat all that food though. Huh. That door is blocked. Yeah, you little birdie buggers.
The jewel of the South. My homeland.
In.
Ready for me to drop you at the docks?
I am ready.
Ready. The old city must have changed a lot.
Off we go then.
One more time, old friend.
Loading, loading. Oh, there we go.
I'd take you to Adamire by boat, but security's too tight. The Grand Guard have a watchtower there. Go inland and use the carriage station. Before his death, the old Duke of Serkono spent decades building up Karnaca. After Duke Luca Bell took over, he started draining the wealth out of the city as fast as he could. Orgies and week-long feasts.
I remember the old Duke Theodanis. He was a good man.
Watch yourself on the way to Adamire. The Duke's given the Grand Guard run of the city. Strangers get attacked on sight.
I can take care of myself.
This is a good spot. Reach Adamire, take out the Crown Killer, and find out where Sokolov was taken. The alchemist, Hypatia. She'll help if she can. Sokolov likes her.
I'll see you later at Adamire. Just wait to bring up the boat until after I've disabled the watchtower.
All right.
It's the time when I could go to sleep without wondering if I'd wake up.
Welcome to Karnaca, stranger. What ship is that out there? You know the skipper?
The dreadful whale. No, it's not on the registry. Maybe one of the recent importers from Mordor.
Let's give it a day or two. If she's still there, I can ask a friend who's with the Grand Guard to take a squad on board and conduct a search. Give the crew time to load up whatever contraband they're no doubt waiting on.
Good thought. They give us a piece of the confiscation.
That's Adamire in the distance.
Then.
A full day's work. Oh, that's a laugh. How would she
And what's
know?
next? It's enough to make a man crazy.
Underground shops. Listen, I'm sorry we fought. I get that you're saying about tangling with the Howlers, but they don't run the black market here, really. They just take a cut from all the shops. The Grand Guard will crack our heads and shake us down if we get caught, but they'll do that no matter what we do. We're new here. We picked a bad time to move to Karnaca. We've got to do whatever we can to stay afloat, even if it means dealing with the black market. I'm gonna go find the shop in each district, cross this rotting corpse to the city, and I'm going to get to know the shopkeepers, butter them up. You're still my love, my apple. Even when I yell at you, even when I curse and throw things, I'll let you make it up to me when we get home tonight. Paisley. Oof.
Your face is covered. Are you worried someone might recognize you?
Yeah, I've got one of those faces that is easily recognizable.
He seems to be late. Or maybe we're early. He should be here with the red shark. This is unacceptable. I have a very tight schedule.
Don't worry, you'll make it eventually. If not today, then tomorrow.
Is that a joke? Santiago Fisheries have a reputation to maintain. We have clients all over the Isles. Do I need to remind you that fish is a delicate cargo? We can't afford any delays.
Well, it's fermented red shark, which is a nice way of saying it's fish that's already gone bad.
You can just tell your clients that here in Karnaka, we like it very fermented.
Unacceptable. Farrell is going to pay for this.
Oh, having some issues there.
Wouldn't miss that.
You know that was supposed to go to us. What are we supposed to do now? We're out of money.
Look at him. He's in on it. What was your cut, Ramus? Gutless merchants are all the same. Hands out, begging and whining.
Tell the truth for once, you lying cow.
Ooh, whale.
What did you make on this promise?
Say one
Man,
more
I'm just
word.
stupid. Can't believe that I'm supposed to be doing all this. Somebody else could do it. Why me?
Yoink. All mine. Ugh, such a waste. Blood flies over there. There's also raw whalebone. That's closest.
They don't want to listen to me. Next time, I'm just going to keep my mouth shut. I used to make good.
What knocked them out? Is there nothing to loot in here?
I seized right up. I told him to let it warm a little first. Can't say I didn't warn him.
What? Somebody's not feeling well.
It wasn't me.
Hello there.
You guys have pouches?
Playing dice tonight. You in?
How come nobody cares if you pickpocket?
Where did I put that thing? This is a dump anyway.
Fellow Circonans, in the Duke's absence, I have the following announcement. New restrictions are now in place due to the political assassinations conducted in the name of the former Empress, Emily Caldwin.
Trouble sleeping again last night. Maybe I ought to try one of those sleeping tinctures. But they can be kind of pricey.
Questioning all foreigners and new workers on the streets of Karnaka. Compliance is mandatory.
Here's the black market.
Hey, come here. I have something that might interest you.
What you got?
My name's Mindy Blanchard, and that mask tells me you're someone who goes into places where you don't belong. Want to help
Maybe.
me with something? You scratch my ass, I'll scratch yours.
I need to get to Addermeyer Institute. Can you help?
Yeah, I know how to do that. You go get a body for me, and I'll help you with your problem. Don't worry, he's already dead.
You want me to bring you a corpse? What's the story there?
The overseers are holding him at their outpost. They think he was a kind of a witch. I want the body for reasons of my own. Sneak in and take it. Then meet me in the old basement below the dentist office near there.
I'll consider it.
Alright, got a side mission. Go ahead and unlock that for a shortcut. Unlock that for a shortcut.
Are we gonna let a few blood flies stop us?
I'm in. Just remember to move slowly.
Welcome. Your face is no concern of mine.
Alright, I want upgrades.
You want blueprints for better weaponry.
There we go. Sleep dot. See, not the pistol. Gear. Definitely gonna want that. You know what? I'm not gonna buy that right now. Fix up refined lenses for zooming.
Do business.
Don't need grenade. Don't need the mines. Not yet.
Shark.
And grab some gear. Location of sunken supplies. Yeah, definitely want that. Grab that.
You won't regret it.
Got 3 of those for now. I want to escape. And then finish off some upgrades.
For upgrading your equipment.
Definitely accuracy. And range.
Why you cover your face is not my affair.
I guess I can grab that now. Perfect. Huh. And let's see.
Shouldn't deal with strangers.
I mean, part of running a black market, my dude. Oh, it's blocked.
I'm gonna trade in some wages for a bottle of whiskey. Maybe try my luck at dice.
Bone charm right nearby. Lento, you're either brave or desperate to accept this job. We used to smoke flash blood flies with full crews. The infestations are bad now and the Duke cancelled the funding. So we get rid of the nest by hand. Here's what you need to know to stay alive. If you need to slip past a bloodfly swarm or nest, keep your distance and move slowly or they'll attack. When the bloodflies are calm, you're fine. When they take flight and start glowing, it's trouble. If you get swarmed, you gotta run away or fight. Smash the bloodflies or burn them. Same for the nests. Bloodfly swarm will keep coming back to you until you destroy the nest for that swarm. It's really all you need to know. You'll do fine. Oh, yeah, another thing. If you find any blood amber in a nest, just keep it as a bonus. Make sure the Grand Guard doesn't see it. They'll ask for some urban sanitation tax or whatever. Good luck. Alright, get you out of here.
It's infested, all right. We used to throw rocks at these nests when I was young. Just go slow and mind the distance. Easy.
There's supposed to be something I could use to destroy this. Oh, I do have an incendiary bolt. was a mistake. I meant to pick it up. I hear one. Just don't see it. Oh. Dead now. More incendiary bolts. Those are always good. The incendiary bolts are amazing for dealing with these bloodflies. Usually when you're coming across a bloodfly nest, you'll have flammable like alcohol, like stuff like that, or what were they called? Oh crap, I can't remember the name of them. They're in the first game, and they're flammable, basically makeshift grenades. The gangs would use them. They'd drink them and then spit fire at you. Right, I need to get there. So you can see that, yeah, they lay the eggs and then just burst out of them. Not a pretty sight. Oh, this nest didn't have any. Yeah, high proof liquor. There we go. Yeet. High proof liquor. Yeet. One more. I think there's another right over there. Right. Got myself another bone charm. I can bird of prey. Drop assassination, destroys health. Yeah, it's fine for now, I guess. Oh, I did get a access to another rune. Oh, I've got 3 runes apparently. So the next one I want to grab is the crafting. Lower chance of corruption for bone charms with 3 or 4 traits. Same trait up to 4 times. Across your craft bone charms. Master crafting, no chance of corruption, 1 to 3 traits. And then I can craft runes. I want to save 1 more for that, because I want to use that ability. The bone charms in this game are a lot stronger than the first game. Oh, nothing in there. Thought there was going to be blood amber over there, but there was not. Even burnt over here. Nice. And bloodflies are sure a pest, aren't they? Keep in the stealth mode. There was supposed to be alcohol over here. torch all the buggers. Didn't want to waste more incendiary darts, but I'll use them when I have to. Just doing some boring looting stuff, I guess. So we continue on. Break those. These guys don't even have a nest. Grab that. I'll put those whalebone for a second.
I am being hunted by half the people in the Empire. Part of me welcomes the fight if they find me.
Alright. We are actually a lot further than I intended to be at this point. Because there's still runes and bone charms over that way, which I think I can get going around that way. So I'm going to check out that building as well.
Miserable rat. I told you what would happen if you reported me. I warned you. Please, you gave me no choice. Please? It's too late for that, Rapallo. Guess what happens next? No!
Ooh, wow.
This is how we get rid of snitches. Remember, if anyone asks, he just ran through it. Yeah, we couldn't stop him.
Jesus. That is a whole lot of corruption, if I do say so myself. Wow.
Hey, is the windmill turning all right up there? No problems? Don't worry, it's turning. Plenty of electricity. Good. I like this setup better than using the well oil tanks. The wind won't run dry. Unless something happens to the windmill. These break down just as often in a different way. And they also overcharge sometimes. The wind picks up too strong? Like in a storm? Right. And if that happens, trust me, don't stand too close to the wall of light. Yeah, that'd be terrible.
I know these guards are all corrupt as well, but I can't just kill them all. If the engineer comes back to service a windmill, do not go up the ladder to throw the shutoff lever for her. It's not your job, and I won't have my squads taking risks like that for another department. They're not Grand Guard. If the lead engineer is afraid of heights, that's her problem. How she expects to work on the windmills without being able to climb up to shut off, I have no idea. But I don't care. Alright, you take a nap right there. They'll actually notice when those are turned off now.
Dancing hagfish on the line. Martha, won't you marry me? 12 weeks have I been at sea. Huh? The wall of lights off? I wonder what I'm dealing with.
You can open these doors. Ooh, these windows. Come on. knew there was something over here for me to get. Those bone charm or raw whale bones are used to craft new bone charms. They just use these alleys to dispose of bodies. Jeez. Was there something down there I could grab?
Damn, I thought I heard blood flies for a second. Pretty sure I saw someone. So, let's see. What was it?
What happened here?
Who said that? There's somebody nearby. Oh, there wasn't even anything here for me to grab anyways.
Something unsavory going on. I'm getting good and tired of this.
Move along. We're conducting a search for heretical artifacts.
What? Here? Listen, I only need
This area is restricted on the authority of the Abbey. No one is allowed inside.
Ooh, I hate the Abbey so much.
Pretty sure I saw someone. I'll stand against the faithless any day. For the Abbey! I'll cure the world from the likes of you.
And he went night-night. First shot actually didn't affect him because I think it bounced off his sword. I didn't think he'd be coming down the stairs after me.
Dig deep, brother. Remember that the profane seeks to hide itself. You know not the mind of the deviant, for their thoughts are drowned in dark waters.
I wonder if I can go up and around. I can't go through there. Can't go around that way. I'm gonna try and go from the outside. Oh, he had a letter. Good brother Harold. Last week when we talked, oh, what a state I was in. It was good of you to take me aside and lend your advice. I've taken it to heart, and I know you are correct. Yes, I will need to be purified through ritual. What a road I have ahead of me. I know it well, for you may not know, but I have endured the ritual once before, 3 years ago. Though I was young and strong, I came within an inch of death. If I may impose upon you once again, would you be so kind as to not mention our conversation to anyone? I will arrange for the ritual, of course, very soon. Though I confess, ever since our talk, I feel much better. No comparison to that agitated state in which you found me. Peace and clarity have returned to me. Truly, I do feel better. In all things, Brother Chester. Where do I want to leave you? I'm just gonna plop you right there. Bone share mine. Letter from Mindy. Nice tattoo you have on your back, Amadeo. Where did you find the original drawing? Want to chat about it? Come to the Crone's Hand in Dust District and ask for Mindy. You won't regret your time. Pretty sure he will. Man, they have destroyed this place. Yeah, I'll take the Outsider painting. 2 more runes.
I've seen cities go bad before. Smelled the rot. So have you. 15 years ago in Dunwall. Did you miss it? That year that made you who you are? Don't deny it. Rats in the cradle, black smoke rising from burning bodies, an entire city crying out. Now it's happening again. Welcome back. Welcome home. People like you and the Crown Killer are a part of places like this.
Alright, actually with that, I do have enough for strategic tips. Perfect. 1 rune carried. But now I have access to craft bone charms. So first, you have to sacrifice bone charm, and then you can craft new ones. So when you sacrifice, you get some raw whalebone and your trait to learn. So I'm actually going to sacrifice Void Favor. Sometimes supernatural powers consume no mana. I'll go back, and now I can craft... I want to craft one with 4 traits. Alright, well, we'll have to wait on that score. But now I can craft. So I won't have the effects of that bone charm for now, but I will get it eventually. Okay, I think I remember how to get over there, and it's actually from the other side here. Overall, I think the missions are a little bit longer in this game than they are in the... Oh, crap. The previous game. There we go. Stupid blood fly. Get over here. There we go. Exacting aim. What does that do, perchance? Your crossbow bolts inflict slightly more damage. Sure. And also get agile recovery. Right. There's a bone charm and a rune down there. Weekly fee. Paolo. Here's the money for the week. I think we should renegotiate a price. With all the raids and curfew decrees, the crown killer and whatnot, folks just aren't buying as much drink. Thought your part of the bargain was at least keeping the Grand Guard and cursed overseers occupied. We ain't happy. That's all I'm saying. Priscilla B. on behalf of the Wine Purveyors Association. Well, it sucks for you, but that's my money now.
The cold, lifeless ocean that surrounds us all and threatens to devour the earth and sky and all things in between.
Sometimes I wonder if it wouldn't be better to craft the music boxes at each enclave. Here in the city, for instance. Instead, they're made in a few locations, kept from us, and shipped out. It seems dangerous.
Far worse to have the knowledge of construction materials scattered across the aisles. The metals used to make the devices are unusually rare. The techniques supplied by anyone devouring everything wherever they go.
Princes and queens rise and fall, but a succession of overseers will watch you for the entirety of your
If they took the music boxes and
lifetime.
perverted them to their own ends.
From the outer horrors of the void,
Much better to protect such a powerful tool. Assemble them in secret and dispatch them across the empire where they're needed to fight against the supernatural.
Now sits on the throne of Dunwall, and that the Duke
Unsent letter to the High Overseer. Esteemed High Overseer Kulan? Yeah. I hope you're in good health and not too nostalgic for Wei Gong, which I'm told is striking this time of year. Forgive my stream of letters, but our problems in Serkonos are significant. Any insights you can offer would be welcome. Duke Abel is a travesty, openly disdainful for the Abbey, and yet I must maintain relations with him for the welfare of this nation. You've been called a unifier, something that the Abbey greatly needed after the horrors of the Rat Plague, so your guidance would be of value. Under the Duke, the streets here are overrun with cutthroats. Paolo and his gang grow bolder every day. Lastly, my recent correspondence with our oracular sisters has been troubling. Their responses have arrived after marked delay, and their recent proclamations possess an unusual cadence. Yours in faith, Vice Overseer Liam Byrne. Mind me, just looting all your stuff. Annoys me that I can't knock him out from this angle. Alright, you get my last start. So I want that. Where's the other dude? How this guy didn't see the Vice Overseer get knocked unconscious, I don't know. And knock you out too. Oh, that does not look comfy. There. Whew. Sucks to be that guy.
Vice Overseer Liam Byrne.
Oh, I think it's right underneath me, that's why. Where is the hint? There's a hint for the order of which scriptures to enter. I'm so sneaky.
This heretic's body is important. Even though I don't fully understand the situation, we'll wait for the Vice Overseer.
When should Byrne arrive?
He's engaged currently. He'll send someone else. We should be fine here for now. But mark me, anyone who shows up here has ill will at heart. There are no coincidences in Karnaka.
And you're unconscious too. Put you in the storeroom for now. Anything lootable in these desks? Guess not. Hey, buddy. And you're unconscious. Excerpt from Overseer Interrogation Report. Brother Bernardus, where did you find these drawings? Accused. I made them. As I said, I'm an artist. Mostly newspaper advertisements. Bernardus. These don't look like advertisements. They look like a heretic nonsense intended to make your neighbor sick or bring back a loved one. Accused. Nothing will dissuade you of these notions, I'm sure. So instead of wasting my breath, I'll give you some advice. Take a bath once in a while, Overseer. Invest in some scented soap, unless that's against one of the strictures. Conclusion. Apparently, the accused suffered from a weakened heart, dying during the interrogation without providing anything further. His apartment on the canal should be searched for items or drawings of a profane nature. I'll take the stun mine. Corrupt Bone Charm. Secret date. Amadeo, meet me in our usual place tomorrow night. Be sure to bring the drawings we talked about. Oof.
That's it. The body Mindy sent me after.
It is, but I'm not grabbing it just yet. Bone chunks. Bolts inflict more damage. Bolts always break on impact. Right. So if I sacrifice a bone charm, I can get rid of that one. And yeah, it doesn't give me the benefit because it's corrupted. High chance of corruption. Actually, we'll cancel the crafting for now. There's a rune I can get downstairs. And that should give me the runes I need to upgrade that even further. Or reduce the chance of having high corruption. Yes, I know there's a bone charm nearby. And I do still have to go back up for that safe. Don't let me forget, chat. There's supposed to be some people in here. Can't break that yet.
All things in between. Trust in the Abbey, my friends. Trust in the Abbey. Stay to the flesh that is familiar, that of the fowl and sheep, the ox and fish from the cold ocean. Those who taste the flesh of the rat risk drifting through the void for all the remaining hours of all the remaining years, until the world is swallowed itself by the void, and all manner of things are destroyed. Set a table for your family that will keep them safe. Lay out a meal that would cause you no shame should your neighbor come to sup with you. Let not the wanderer into your home, friends. Avoid the stranger, for their time to sink roots into the bedrock of the community has passed. Those who wander are untethered by family and neighbors for reasons tested and true. It is oft because they have turned their backs on tradition and on the 7 strictures themselves. A wanderer is a friend to the outsider. Never doubt that. Karnaca is in great peril, brothers
That
and
is
sisters.
legitimately crazy.
Now, this is not news to those of you living through these times of crisis, but the source of your suffering might not be plain to you.
Alright, let's try this.
Return to the fold, to take solace once again in the litany on the White Cliff. Stay to the flesh that is familiar, that of the fowl and sheep, the ox and fish from the cold ocean.
How long does it take that alarm to go off?
The flesh of the rat risk drifting through the void for all the remaining hours of all the remaining years, until the world is swallowed itself by the void, and all manner of things.
Huh. Thought for sure that would have been enough. Can I find a bottle somewhere? Trying to get them away from the rune that's downstairs so I can snatch it up. 'Cause I don't want to have to kill them, and I also don't want to necessarily be seen.
Apart from the flocks entrusted to our care, apart from those we give our lives to both chastise and protect. Sometimes this tale is told within our mightiest enclaves, and sometimes it is told around campfires.
I'm gonna do a quick save game here.
During our most remote pilgrimages, it is the sorry story of a man
most high within the abbey, who was banished during... Huh? What's going on here?
It sounded like someone over there.
Broken glass.
I just need to make sure. Yell if you find...
Oh.
Going anywhere.
Isn't he the man on the...
Didn't expect them to come that way.
Strictures guide my
Oh,
hand.
come on.
Where did what? Someone! But strictures. What? Somebody's down. One of us is down. Shit, what was that? You
Oh, mine.
can't escape. Surrender and die.
Oops.
See what you did, bro. The boy, where did he go? Look everywhere. What are you waiting for? Where are you hiding, coward?
I wonder who that was.
I'll find you, you know. Hello? Anybody? Don't make me search the whole place.
Oh, you're gonna have to search the whole place. Where was the hint for this thing? Alright. I did get another bone germ though. Food restores more health. That's decent. Powers. I have 2, so I can get this. 3 or 4 traits. Reduced. Next one. Still a low chance with 4 traits. But I'll take that. And this one I can craft runes. Alright. Moves slightly slower when carrying a body. I mean, I'll take it. I'll probably recraft that later. But that, basically, I've quadrupled my chances of not consuming mana when I use a power. Now, I really want to know where the hint for this was. Do we want to do this way? It's gonna take so long.
What? Somebody's not feeling well.
You don't stand a chance anyway.
It sounded like it came from inside the building.
You can't stay hidden forever. I'm not in the mood. Show yourself.
If I'm not in the mood to show myself, huh? You ever think about that? Where'd he go? I think he turned around already. Oh, he
More
is
Grand
right
Guard
there.
soldiers, lapdogs for the Duke.
And you're unconscious. Oh, jeez. Oh, jeez. I'm going to want to redo this one as soon as possible. Remember 7 strictures, especially a wandering gaze, roving feet, rampant hunger. That's the hint. Wandering gaze, roving feet, and rampant hunger. 145. Oh yeah, this would have taken forever to do. There we go. Talking about.
There it is! Damn it! What's going on?
Hard times. Gotta be on the lookout.
Come on! I don't have time for games.
Here.
Come out, wherever you are.
Nope, 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 nope. Dang it. Doctor's notes. That fool! Bringing his wife in with such an advanced case of blood fever. My anger boiled over. I demanded he explain why he waited so long to seek treatment. Alas, he was so slow-witted, it's a wonder he managed to find a doctor's office at all. Of course, there was nothing I could do for her. The waiting room was full before noon, as it had been every day since Addermeyer closed its doors. I do the best I can. Set out medicines ahead of time, keep the office open 2 full hours past dark. But no matter how hard I toil, no matter what new efficiencies I try, I can't keep ahead of them all. I admit, there are so many advanced cases lately, I now fear for my own health and safety.
Everyone's gotta die, yeah. But please, not today.
Come on! Let's have a fair fight!
They're still searching for me.
I sure hope he's not around anymore. Royal Protector or not, he's gonna bleed all the same.
Oh my god. Yeah, I'm gonna have to remake that charm sooner rather than later. This is just torture.
I hit hard!
Punch him in the nose and knock him out. Alright, let's see what the hut says about the next rune. Over there. I like how you can pin them.
What is this?
And you're unconscious.
Somebody's not feeling well.
Just a member of the guard.
You again?
What?
Wait, what? Who said you again?
Someone protect me!
Accept your fate, miscreant!
That's not right.
warmer.
You creature of the
I'll break your
void!
face.
You don't stand a chance.
Don't take unnecessary... Where are you hiding?
What happened here?
Nothing after all.
Ow. Ow, stop it. I don't want to climb up there anymore.
For even the lowliest labor
A body?
Huh?
Here?
I'm always alert. Always. They don't gotta say it twice.
What? What?
Look
Somebody's
everywhere.
not feeling well.
Where did that overseer go? There he is.
Anybody? Don't make me search the whole place. I don't have time for that.
I don't care how much time you've got. You're going over there. There's nothing. Don't worry about it.
You asked for it.
He's here!
Nope.
This time I'll get you!
Keep running into him, huh?
I have him in sight!
Oop.
Let's end him!
Oh, where did they come from? Oh boy. Karnaka Docks.
Wherever you are!
What happened here?
I think it was 145. Alright. Did I already craft that bone charm? I did. I'm gonna uncraft it. Alright. Let's try that again. Just anything but the slower body carrying. Because that is just brutal. Alright. Increase falling damage. I can live with that.
We will burn a bright fire with our virtuous actions.
I'm not in the
So
mood.
the others
Show
will not
yourself.
lose way.
Wow, that's just crawling with guards over there. Oh, come on. That should not have counted. Alright, I've got 2 runes now. Which means... should have held off on crafting that other bone charm. Oh well. Got it now, and that should be all I really need. So, time to do some looting. As I do.
Another evening at the rum club.
Was not easy.
Wild mimosas are in bloom. Let's organize an outing.
Welcome to my shop. Have a look around.
So there's an achievement to listening to these two. All their songs. They're all over Serkonos.
That'll be just the theme.
I'm not going to listen to all of them right now. What I am going to do, go back up this way. This is going to scare a lot of people, but that's fine.
Come on. Hey, you got it. Put it down in the hole.
All right.
Good job. Take this.
You said you had a trick for getting closer to Adamire.
I just sent one of my boys to turn off the power to the carriage rails. When the juice is off, you can walk along the rails and get where you need to go. On the other side, there's a station that will take you to Adamire.
All right, then. This is goodbye.
Perfect. Not sure what she wants with that body, but whatever. I almost missed these. 20 gold.
That's a jolly good idea.
Adamire Station. This should take me out to the Institute. That's it. The electricity is off.
Note on abandoned luggage. Lieutenant Colbert's. I've packed everything like you requested and brought your luggage to the train station, but I cannot wait any longer. The train will be here any minute, and I won't miss my chance to leave this wretched city. Your shift at the Royal Conservatory should have ended an hour ago, so I'm confident you'll be here soon, and that you'll buy another ticket. It has been an honor to serve you during these 2 years, and I wish I could have said goodbye in person. Best of luck, Severino.
They wouldn't let us take the carriage. Adamire is closed to the public.
We'll have to try again.
So normally these tracks are electrified, and you can't just walk across them like this.
Institute has strategic value to the Duke's inner
More Grand Guard soldiers. Lapdogs for the Duke.
Doesn't have to be a circus. Just some little bit of excitement once in a while.
Can I get down there without him or anybody else noticing me? I think I can. Oh, there's another room with bone charm nearby. Right there. Contest. Try to unlock me. Quiz of intellects, tinkers, and aspiring criminals alike. If you can open this Winslow safe, the precious silver inside is yours to take home. Participants are limited to 30 minutes, one attempt only. I think that dude has the code. Yeah, he did not have the code, but it might be in his safe.
In the end, what does it matter? Taking your coin, taking your life.
I set the combination to 496. Yes, we're going to keep running the save contest. Maybe no one comes into the shop. Maybe a dozen people come in, like we had during the parade of fishmongers 5 years ago. And I promise, none of these thick-skulled dock workers or their coarse wives are going to guess the combination. We just run the contest to bring people into the shop. And if we're lucky, they all talk about it over beers and their friends or family dinners. See, since they don't know what's inside, they'll fill in the blanks. They imagine something as grand as the treasure reserves at Daltonwall Tower. We need the business, so keep the signs up. Stay polite to the knuckleheads who try to pry open the safe. 496. Such an impractical lock function. New bone charm is blast resistant, less damage from explosions. I mean, I don't plan on getting exploded anytime soon, but you never know. Note from Dr. Hypatia. Dear Cyril, I'm working so late these days, I might as well sleep at Addermeyer. I know it's not good for my health, and as a doctor I should know better. You're totally right. But I have the feeling I'm about to discover something important, something that will improve my Addermeyer solution. Would you be so kind as to water my plants for a few days? You'll do a better job than me anyway. I always forget them. Help yourself to an elixir in my reserve if you like. I hope Caroline gets better soon. Your neighbor and friend, Alexandria. What's this? Oh, just a railing underneath the light. You'll never find out.
This must be the alchemist's apartment. Alexandria Hypatia.
I don't know why it forces you to break those, because you can't open them normally. Like, how else do people get it out of there?
By the time I leave Karnaka, the blood flies will have a lot more places to lay their eggs.
My work at Addermeyer demands it. After the horrible failures of my first serum, I'm more determined than ever to help the miners. It's not my say how hard the Duke and his cronies drive the workers, but until he sees reason, I'll do what I can to make their lives better and to provide comfort to their families. It's my obsession, this work, and the
bottle. Nest Keeper. Alexandria. I've always believed the idea of a Bloodfly Nest Keepers to be a legend or drunken miner talk, even though members of the Grand Guard have reported putting down belligerent occupants when burning out Bloodfly infestations. As such, the Silvergraph represents a rare sighting. We can only conclude that the final stages of Bloodfly fever occasionally result in an extraordinarily kind of brain damage, wherein the host fixates on protecting the nests. The Bloodflies, in turn, welcome the afflicted person, and thus a symbiotic relationship results. Bloodfly research never ceases to amaze. If we could procure a sample from the brain of one of these nest keepers, I'd love to observe the effects on rats or wolfhounds in my laboratory. Let's just test this out. Oop.
Huh? That sounded like broken.
Oof, I almost fell.
This whole business has me on pins and needles. Jumpy as anything. But there was... Where did... Am I going crazy?
I'll have a look around.
Do, 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 do. You take a nap right there.
Did I imagine that? No, I'm sure.
And this one I do have to pull away from the edge. Otherwise you'll fall off and die. Can't be giving all the Bloodflies new homes, can I? Yes, I know I could just walk down the rail. That's how I get down over there. But where's the fun in that? There's more loot to be had. What a creepo.
Someone from there.
Must have heard me. Oops.
Better have a look.
It's not my job to clean up.
Let's pick around. Let's have a look. Hey, what? What is this?
Wait for my orders.
Hey, this isn't. You hijacked the thing. Where did he go?
Oops. Run, 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 run. Poof.
What are you waiting for?
Wait, where is he?
I know
Where are you hiding, coward?
I lost him.
You don't stand a chance anyway. I'll find you, you know.
That was a mistake. That was my bad.
Hey, come on. What happened here? Won't hurt you. Not in the mood. Show yourself. Protector or not.
Wait, you can see me there?
Same. Show yourself and state your name. Please, not today. Come on! I don't have time for games.
All right. There's no one here.
Cracked engine plate. Benny, I think the engine plate is cracking again in this carriage. Maybe the last weld didn't take. Riding back from Aldermeyer, I was grinding something terrible. We'll be lucky if it makes trip even once more. Need to get this one off the rails into the shop for teardown. Bonk on the nose.
I saw you.
No, you didn't.
hiding.
No more lootables. Ooh, here comes one now.
No one knows what's happened. Could be anything. I just gotta watch my own back.
Two coming this way. Oh, crap. I got stuck. I got stuck. Oh, no. Womp womp. That did not turn out the way I thought it would. Press any key to continue.
You don't stand a chance anyway.
That is baloney.
I'm not in the mood. Show yourself.
I'll find you, you know.
I saw you. No use hiding.
And unconscious. The fun getting down from there.
Come on. I won't hurt you.
Hard times. Gotta be on the lookout.
And in the grass for you. Did not mean to blink there, but that's fine.
Sure hope he's not around anymore. I'm not in the mood.
Where is he? Damn it.
I'm a ninja.
I'm about half sure there was something going on. Next time.
The rumors are true about the Crown Killer. The Royal Protector? Really? What a bunch of degenerates.
I almost missed that. Let's do them there.
I'm always alert. Always. They don't have to say it twice.
That masked killer. Heard some victims were found half devoured. Blood and shit everywhere.
Oh, he's still stuck. But I can get him unstuck. there a way in from over there? Probably not. Doesn't look like there is.
Jumpy as anything.
Guess that started swinging when I teleported over it.
Maybe I can drag the Duke of Serkonos through one of these.
Trust me, I would love to drag him through one of those. Do I have to take this guy out first? I think I do. Well, I can definitely try staying hidden forever.
You don't stand a chance anyway. I'll find you, you know. Come on. Won't hurt you.
Yeah, why do I not believe you when you say that?
What? Show yourself and state your name.
What if I don't wanna? Oh, he's stuck on the stairs again.
Keep your eyes peeled. Nothing. Shit. Come on,
Hello?
show yourself.
Anybody?
We're all waiting for you.
Don't maybe search the whole place. I don't have time for that.
You got nothing but time. Can't quite make it over that way.
Look everywhere. Nothing.
Damn it. Wonder who that was.
Stay sharp. No luck. Probably too late now.
No sleepy time juice. Body pile. That's familiar, isn't it? Love making those in the first game. Grenades. Very useful. Wait, who did you see napping? I'm just gonna clomp on down this way. you're going unconscious. Whew. That looked uncomfortable. All right. Hop on the carriage and away we go to Addermeyer Institute. All right. Highly non-lethal. I did kill one person, but also got seen by a lot. Whoops. Oh well. All 10 runes, both shrines, all 8 bone charms. I missed a painting, and I missed a blueprint. Interesting. Oh well. And we'll continue. And actually, even though I said we'll continue, that's just to make sure it loads up the next mission. We'll be wrapping up stream shortly here.
Addermeyer. My best chance for tracking down the Crown Killer. The place used to be a solarium for the idle rich where they flocked for rejuvenation treatments. It was founded just after the plague hollowed out Dunwall a decade and a half ago. Alexandria Hypatia is chief alchemist, and whether Anton Sokolov is still there or not, she's going to give me the answers I need.
Ooh. Oh, let me save game yet. Basically, once we can save game, that's when we're gonna switch over to just chatting for a second and wrap up stream. All right. Save game. Over this one. Yes. And we are good. All right, and I will take us to the just chatting screen here. Alrighty. So I hope you guys enjoyed the first 2 missions of Dishonored 2. I definitely had a lot of fun with it. I actually noticed when I was loading things up, the last time I played this game was in 2017. So that was quite some time ago. In that time, aside from the amount of time I played today, which is roughly 3 hours, my total play time is 112 hours. So I have already put a lot of hours into this game, and it's still just as much fun. If I was trying to go for any of the challenge achievements, it would take me a little bit longer, obviously, but I want to make sure things are kind of enjoyable for chat. Just to make sure it's not, you know, an hour and a half of just silence as I stealth around or whatnot. I'm trying to keep each mission to within an hour, hour and a half. If you're trying to go through, if anybody is active in chat, but our 2 options are Skycam the Shark, who is currently playing Borderlands 3, or Johnny Jellyjaw, who is currently playing a game called Inscription, which is a card-based game. 1 second. That. Actually, he is just getting started with his game. So, he hasn't even made it past his stream starting screen yet. So, he has just started. I think I'm going to raid Johnny Jellyjaw. Just for the fun of it. Alright, /raid Johnny Jellyjaw. So if you guys are wanting to find to watch a country slime have all kinds of fun with the card game, feel free to tag along in the raid. And the raid message is just Changeling Raid, because I am totally original. Yes, I'm a changeling. I just copy what I see and become other things. Of course, I'm not an original. So we'll do a Changeling Raid, and I'll take us to the ending screen here. and you guys have fun watching a country slime do his thing. Thanks for watching. Bye.